Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fertility Hot Topics, the platform that discusses all things fertility. Our goal is to provide you with information and educate you on those uncomfortable issues that are never openly addressed. Disclosure: I'm not a medical professional. I only act in an advisory capacity. If you need expert medical advice, get in touch with your physician. I can be reached via email at fertilityhottopics@gmail.com. fertilityhottopics@gmail.com. This is not a sponsored platform. Hello to you all. Ndamnesh, Magadi, Yihao, Ncholinjani. That's as far as I can go. Welcome to Fertility Hot Topics. Thank you for joining me. This is your host, Alban Musa Erenge. Episode 3, Selecting a Fertility Clinic. There is so much information to unpack in this episode, so we'll jump right into it. Let's talk about the sources that you can use to get information on fertility clinics that are around you or in your area. Number 1, a referral from your primary care physician or your OBGYN doctor. This is a solid referral. Why is this a solid referral? Because it's coming from a solid source. And normally, your PCP or OBGYN doctor will refer you to a clinic they've used in the past. So they've got confidence in this practice, hence they'll refer you to them. Number 2, you can do an online search or you can search on social media. Many clinics nowadays obviously have a website and they're making their presence felt on social media as well. Why? Because that's where we, the consumer, spends most of our time. We're on social media a lot and we're online a lot. So those are good ways of finding which fertility clinics are near you. And when you look at their social media, have a look at what they've posted on social media. If that resonates well with you, look at the quality of the post, look at the substance they talk about. If that resonates well with you, give them a call. Number 3, a referral from a friend or family member. This is also a very solid referral because many a times, maybe the friend or family member has been through treatment with that particular facility they're recommending. In that case, you can get a rundown on what the experience was with that clinic or facility. I would prefer that because you're working on a real life experience someone's had, and if they've got all good things to say, even the bad, look at the total picture. Make a decision based on that. Number 4, print media, magazines or news articles. Now, these might not be as readily available as the first 3 sources we spoke about. Sometimes you may come across certain magazines, certain news articles that are health related and they may feature certain clinics in fertility in your area or near your area. So that would be a good source as well. So moving on. You've got a list of your fertility practices, okay? Say you've got, I think a fair number would be 4 or 3. You want to take it to the next step, which is you want to set up your initial evaluation with that clinic. So you've got to have a list of questions that you're going to ask on the first phone call you make. So during the first phone call you make to the clinic, have this list of questions to ask them. Based on the answers they give you, you can make an informed decision out of the 3 or 4 clinics you've listed on which one you're going to go with, okay? There's no harm in having a consultation with 1 or 2 different facilities, and then based on that you can make a decision on which facility you'd like to go to. But always be clear and honest with whichever doctor or facility you're talking to, because as long as they know that you're at that stage where you're still looking for a clinic to provide your treatment, they will work with you. So don't, mislead them, because it only frustrates people who are trying to really help you. You may want to write these questions down, and when you call the clinic, you may want to ask them these questions, not necessarily in the exact same order. You can add questions of your own. You can revise the way these questions are put across, but I think they are vital in determining your decision-making process. So, the first question you want to ask, number one, let the clinic know and be clear that you would like to have your initial consultation, your first consultation. Whether you've had treatment before or whether you were in the middle of treatment somewhere else and you want to switch, this will be your first consultation with that particular clinic. But let them know what stage of the treatment you are in. I've never had any fertility care before. I've never seen a fertility doctor. I want to make my initial appointment. Or I've been treating with Clinic XYZ and I need a second opinion, because you may not be happy with one or two things going on there, but be clear and truthful to your clinic when you call them. Number two, ask if the facility or clinic accepts your insurance. If they do accept your insurance, you can ask them what your out-of-pocket cost may be. It is also helpful for you to check with your insurance company if they will cover your treatment, diagnostic at this stage, with the clinic you are calling. Okay? So don't leave it all up to the clinic and fold your arms. The insurance policy belongs to you. As much as the clinic does its due diligence in checking, you should also know what you're covered for and what you are not. Ultimately, it's your responsibility, because anything that your insurance doesn't cover is going to be a bill you will have to pay out of pocket. So if the clinic does not accept your insurance, ask them what they charge for the initial consultation if one doesn't have insurance. That's very important. Number three, how soon can your appointment be scheduled? Now, there are pros and cons to this one. You don't want to have your appointment scheduled too soon if the following applies to you. If you have any previous medical records, any surgeries that have been done, any procedures relating to fertility, okay? You do not want to have an appointment that is too soon. So you phone today and you're told that we can set you up for an appointment tomorrow, because most likely you've got medical records. You need to get those medical records to the clinic prior to or before your appointment. Depending on how many records you have, you need to give that doctor from that facility time to go over those records, to study them prior to you having your appointment, because that only works to your advantage, right? You don't want to set up an appointment today for the next 2 days, have your previous medical records sent to the clinic, and expect the doctor to go through, say, 2,000 pages in a day. That won't work to your advantage. It'll only work against you. So make sure you've got adequate time for you to get any records you may need to get to the clinic. Now, if you don't have any medical records that you need to get to the clinic, what you also need to do is ask if you should get any tests done prior to your first visit. You don't want to waste your first visit on being told that you need to get test XYZ done so that we can then go to the next step. If you know you need to get treatment, there are certain tests you need to get done regardless, and these tests just are the base of what your physician needs to look at prior to moving forward with a treatment plan. Okay? And all this you are doing this so that you can get a proper evaluation. Okay? A proper evaluation will lead to a good diagnosis. Now, once you've gotten a good diagnosis, what is the problem? That's what the diagnosis is, addressing. Once it's been established that you are facing problem X, Y, or Z, your road to success is smoother, it's going to be more successful, and you're not going to be going in circles. Number 4, will your consultation be with your treating doctor or a nurse practitioner? Now, with this one, it's just a matter of preference. Remember, this is your initial evaluation, so you're just putting pieces of a puzzle together, and it really boils down to your preference. Either your nurse practitioner or your treating doctor is qualified to have this initial evaluation with you. But it's nice to ask so that you know that getting into the evaluation, who you're going to be talking to ahead of time. Things to remember. Ask if there are any standard workup tests that you can do prior to your first consultation. So prior to your initial visit, ask the clinic if there are any standard workup tests that you can get done. And also remember, your initial visit or your first consultation is the foundation of your treatment. Provide the clinic with all the information pertaining to your treatment or condition. Okay? Do not withhold any information from your clinic. Withholding information will only result in your treatment delays, and it will not work to your advantage. Be honest with your doctor. You have a goal. Your doctor and his or her supporting staff are there to help you achieve that goal. So work with them. Don't work against them. And be pleasant. Positive energy attracts positive energy. Negative energy attracts negative energy. Remember, this is a clinic you're trusting with your health, okay? You're putting your care in their hands. It's smart to work with them. When you work against them and people hesitate to pick up the phone because they know it's patient XYZ who's usually nasty to them, it does not work to your advantage. Think about it. People remember people because of pleasant characteristics. So when people talk about you as a patient, you want them to talk about good things. You want people to be asking you, oh, how was your trip? You said you were going to California last week. How did that go? You don't have to become best friends with everyone in the clinic, even your physician. But be pleasant, be nice. Positive energy attracts positive energy. And you're working towards a particular goal. Your clinic will work with you as long as you work with them. And always, always, always have a folder and keep track of every stage of your treatment. You have a smartphone. Your smartphone probably has a recording device. You can ask your physician if you can record the conversation. When it comes to complex things like medication, with this infertility treatment, there's a lot to unpack. So you want to have record, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. And a good way of doing that is just use your smartphone, record whatever conversation you may be having, especially when it comes to the instructions on what you're supposed to do before your follow-up visit. You can have your folder, make use of your smartphone as well, and keep track of what you're being told to do. That will save you a lot of stress and it will make your treatment smoother, and you'll find that you'll be on top of everything every step of the way. Okay? Now, it's time for our trivia question. Our trivia question today: why is it advisable to be pleasant and work with your physician and clinical team? Answer: everyone will go out of their way to help you when you are pleasant. When you are nasty, no one wants to attend to you. They will do so because they have to. If your answer was close to this, give yourself a round of applause. Join me in episode 4, where we talk about insurance and self-pay for fertility treatment. Thank you so much for being with me, and I wish you a very productive work week. Take care for now, and we'll meet you in the next episode. We appreciate you spending time with us. Join us on our next episode. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Fertility is now global, and technology keeps making strides. Let's keep this information moving. Till next time, take care.